All right, welcome back, brother.
Hey.
Welcome back. So, we are going to be talking about analyzers now. Explain to me.
Analyzers.
Analyzers.
Yeah, not the other kind.
Not the other thing, yes.
Not the anal retentivalizers.
Well, the sad part about it is that those people end up being the micromanagers and so forth, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, so talk to me about an analyzer. Explain to me what this is and how this affects the business.
Okay, as an owner, analyzers, if that's your personality type, you just don't trust tenants, period. You just kind of don't. So you're always looking at, well, okay, this guy shows up and his application looks really, really good, but that apartment number that he put on the application doesn't match the one that when I called the guy that he said he was living in. What's wrong with that? And then they get stuck up in what I call analysis paralysis. Why did he give me the wrong apartment number?
Well, the question I have is why did he give the wrong apartment number? Does he not know where he lives?
Wasn't paying that much attention to it. Forgot. How long ago was it?
Well, if it's his current address, then we have an issue. Yes.
Yeah.
But if it was the address from 15 years ago, that's
if you're in a town where people tend to move a lot, like Sacramento has what, 3 colleges in this town or 4?
Exactly.
It's considered in the business a transient town. People are going to move every year. If you got 1,000 apartments, 1,000 apartments are going to turn over every year. So maybe they're thinking, oh, yeah, last year I lived in number 12, and this year I'm in number 9, 5 blocks down because they had the better move-in special when I came back. So they screwed that up.
Yeah, well, I mean, to give an example, we're in 12 right now, and 12th floor, and now we're moving on to the 9th floor, which we actually...
studio.
Yeah, exactly. And
better.
New studio, yeah, everything's better. But no,
so when you see this in the future, it'd be all pretty and nice.
Exactly. No, so an analyzer, is that a negative thing in the business?
No, not necessarily. You just need to be really aware of your personality type. You know, you're over-analyzing a lot of times. Mm-hmm. And as a tenant analyzers are going to want everything perfect. I mean, they're great tenants. You're going to get your money right on time. But they're the guy, when you hand them your tenant handbook, you better be prepared to spend a half an hour waiting while he reads through it and asks you questions. When you hand him the rental agreement, he's going to read through it and ask you questions. And that, to me, is not a bad thing, because then it creates the opportunity for you to establish all those expectations. And if you need to make notes on a lease, write the notes down and both of you initial it. That's more power for both of you. When and if something happens, you can go, well, you remember we talked about this. Here's your initials. It's right here on the lease. This is what we both agreed, that this paragraph where you're going to call me and I'm going to have 24 hours to get back to you unless it's a major maintenance emergency, which we agreed is fire, flood, or whatever. So you can put them in their place.
The only thing that's going through my mind right now is how much you look like Princess Leia in those headphones.
You're a sick man. And they're your headphones. Next week I'm bringing my own. I'll teach you. I think the last guy had a big head because these things are like way huge.
I probably wore it with all my ego.
There you go. Call them cupcakes.
Yeah, oh my gosh, seriously. So,
cool place.
So let's go over those traits again. What was the first one?
The first one
was a relator.
Explain
to me real quick what that was.
Have a relationship with everybody. They relate to everybody. Kind of want to be everybody's friend. Everything's cool. Want to be your buddy.
Okay.
And you're running a business. Your tenant is not your buddy. And let me throw another thing in there for you guys. It's like a bonus spin. Never, ever, ever. Did I say never, ever?
Ever.
Ever. Hire a tenant or allow a tenant to work on the property they live in. I don't care if they're a licensed contractor. I don't care if they're a structural engineer that works for whatever state you're in. I don't care if they're approved by the federal government to manage properties. Go ask your insurance agent, should I let my tenant work on the house? When he's finished verbally slapping you, you will understand one of the many reasons why this is a doggone bad idea.
What's the next one on there?
We got the Expressor.
And that's not to be confused with an espresso.
No, but you're going to wish you had a couple listening to these guys. Everything's got to be top notch. Those are the guys we were talking earlier that they want the top shelf gold faucet that was platinum
They're moving
plated.
into an apartment for $900 a month, and they
Yeah.
want 24-karat gold faucets in the bathroom.
Yep, they're the ones.
I remember when I was about 19 or 20, I was delivering furniture, and I went into this little, if you know Citrus Heights, the audience that's listening may or may not, depending on where you're listening, but it's this little, like, I think it's like the most trailer parks per capita in the state of California.
Might be.
There's a lot of trailer parks in Citrus Heights. Long story short, I'm delivering some furniture to this guy's place, and it was just like this little duplex, just a $900 a month apartment. And, of course, a Mercedes in the driveway. It looked like the Taj Mahal inside. I mean, everything was gold and big and archways. And it was like an architectural masterpiece inside this little dinky apartment. It was actually very impressive, to say the least.
Yeah, one of the richest guys I know I worked with, we built out in Orangevale, if you know the Sacramento area. We built, like in the 80s sometime, I think, River Oak townhomes in a couple of phases. And I kept telling Tony, you're kind of overbuilding. He married a Swiss girl. He had connections in Switzerland. They imported Swiss cabinets. They were the first people around here I ever saw use Corian countertops. Phase 1, if you can buy and get into phase 1, they're like overbuilt to the max. Phase 2, very nice, not overbuilt. Phase 3, we're out of nails. Let's get some glue. This will work. No, they're really not that bad.
We've got the bare necessities.
There you go. No, they're all very well built, but yeah, they were just way overbuilt. I mean, they're like 3 buildings connected and the common wall. When we finished framing it and sheetrocking it, the guys in the middle unit were running skill saws and chop saws. The guys in the first unit were installing the Corian bathrooms. You could not hear, when you walked out of one unit into the next one, you couldn't hear what was going on next door.
Well, it's actually kind of interesting.
That's cool.
Well, what's cool about it now is you've got different rent sets because of the quality of the different
Well, these
places.
are owner-occupied. These are not rentals. These are
no kidding.
built to own. Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
All right, so there you have it. Anything else we should tell these folks?
Keep listening. More information's coming. Hit the website. We're upgrading that all the time. Eventually, we're going to get around to building that Contact Brad page.
Oh, yeah.
Ask Brad. Shoot some questions in on that. Make sure you leave me a way to get back to you. I may refer you over to the Facebook page because a bunch of questions are there. And when you go to Facebook, across the top, they keep changing things. But somewhere on Facebook, there's a thing that says Files. I've loaded up stuff on that. That's free. Just go there and look.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, I'm Jon Robert Quinn.
I'm Brad Meyer.
Bradley Meyer. Not to be confused with Brad Miller, the old retired Kings player.
No, not to be confused with. He specifically requested that, I believe.
And of course, you can find everything at the cashcowsystems.org.
Yep.
We're going to go to a break. We're going to come back and learn a little bit more. Talk to you in a little bit.
Stay tuned.